You guys seen the title. Hey, what is up there, guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of The Evolve. Man, how you guys doing on today? You know what? I'm doing all right. We need to get right into it on today. You know who's not doing all right?
Newsflash M.
Mr. Joe Budden. I mean, he's done had a very tough couple of weeks, and today it only get worse. It don't get no better for him, because today, if I'm being honest, it looks like Joe Budden is getting Me Too'd. Yeah, on the Joe Budden network, there is a female podcast, and there was this one female that was a part of that podcast, which was Olivia Dope. Now, she left a few months ago, and it was a little the reasons on why she left was always confusing and wasn't very clear, according to the Joe Budden statement, and she wasn't saying much. She didn't really say much at all. She just agreed to, the statement that was put out by Joe Budden. She felt like she wanted to move on, and it was best for her to go. But now she's speaking out. She's speaking out against Joe Budden. She's speaking out, as she say, for all ladies and for everyone. And she's speaking out also in these clips that I'm going to show you to warn people to not get in business with Joe Budden during this time. Since everything happened with Roy and Maul, she felt like this is the perfect time. Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that, now this was pretty long, but I'm going to break this down into the main clips that you need to hear. But basically, she is charging Joe Budden with sexual harassment and more inside of the workplace that made her both uncomfortable and fearful of not just her job, not just her sexuality, but just of her own morals and ethics. She said that she was forced, and we're gonna hear what she feels she was forced into and what happened. All right, so in this first clip that I think we're gonna take a look at, she just start off by explaining a little bit about, hey, Joe Budden on the female podcast. He comes in, he sits in on that one, and then things start. Let's play the clip.
I've had a lot of sleepless nights in the past couple of months. I have constant reminders of what has transpired, so I just kind of have to bear with me as I try to get this out. My departure from See the Thing Is podcast, as well as the Joe Budden Network, I am here today to, still uncomfortable, but find the bravery to finally speak on a very embarrassing situation. Not only to start my healing process, but to help give encouragement to others who have similar stories of sexual harassment in the workplace. On January 18th, 2021, Joe Budden sat in on a recording of the female-led podcast I was a part of and continuously made sexual suggestive remarks to me that made me extremely uncomfortable, as well as fearful of dampening the mood if I didn't laugh along while he made those sexual remarks to me.
So, and one thing that I do want to mention that you will notice, that it does seem as if she has lawyered up just based off of that, because you can tell that she is reading. Rather, she wrote it down herself so that to help her express. Or rather, the lawyer is like, hey, they're going to come after you, so let's get our wording right. But she is reading. That's worth mentioning. Now, in this next clip, she does go on and she talks about how she has to explain to her daughter how she was sexually harassed and it still lives on the internet. And now she's about to get into like timestamps, but not just yet, but I'll let you hear what she talks about her daughter as she lay that down. Let's play that clip.
Mentally, emotionally, I've even had to have a conversation with my daughter on why it's important for you to speak up when somebody crosses a boundary with you, because there is now footage of her mother on the internet with somebody crossing a boundary with her mother.
So you know what, in this next clip that I want to show you, now she lays down the foundation of her I guess her case against Joe Budden, and what she is stating. Basically, she wants to first let the audience know that what I'm about to tell you and how he was coming on to me, it wasn't that we were cool or tight and whatnot. It wasn't even one of those things, but I didn't really know him. And this is how she proved that.
I'm gonna go ahead and start from 13 minutes and 48 seconds. Joe calls me out by saying, "I've never reached out to him privately or personally." This information is important to this entire scenario because it proves my lack of familiarity with this person. And that is what makes everything that transpired after that.
Deleted scenes are what's gonna get you. So here she talks about a deleted scene in the podcast. They were recording live and on the podcast during the show, and Joe Budden just say, "Hey, we need to talk more because I've always want to fuck you." I beat myself out, but I always wanted to get down. I always wanted to smash you. That's what she said that Joe said to her during the recording. I'll let her say it. Play the clip.
At 14 minutes 34 seconds, there's an edit in the recording because Joe says him and I should speak more because, quote, "he's been wanting to fuck me since we've met." Everyone in the studio, including production staff, laughed uncomfortably while one of my co-hosts confirmed that to be true. I am mortified by this revelation.
So, in this next clip, y'all remember when like Eminem was like, "Yo, Budden, only thing Budden, you know, smacking." But yeah, anyway, I digress. This next clip, she talks about how Joe Budden was in front of all the production staff while they're recording, all the females and whatnot. You know, he's sitting there and he tells her, "Yo, hit that button, bitch." That's what he said to her. And then he goes on and he speaks to her saying, "Hey, you know, why are you single? We can be a podcast power couple, PPC." I let her explain it.
At 21 minutes 30 seconds, Joe tells me to hit a button, bitch, because I didn't hit a sound effect fast enough. At 24 minutes and 54 seconds, Joe makes a comment that I am throwing my singleness in his face, and he thought we were going to be a network power couple. Once again, I'm trying to laugh all of this off. As it's transpiring, I reply by saying, "Sorry, Joe, we're not."
This next little thing right during that podcast, and once again, this is all in one podcast that she's talking about, but then right after the whole single, we can be a PPC, she then go on to, he said that Joe looked down at her shirt, you know, and he's like, your shirt don't, you ain't dressing like you single. You look hot. I let her explain the clip.
At 25 minutes and 42 seconds, I make a comment about relationships in general within the conversation. Joe retorts that my shirt that I was wearing isn't buttoned like I'm single. Excuse me, I have to repeat that. My shirt that I'm wearing isn't buttoned like I'm single. I pause, cover my chest with my hand, and try to brush it off once again and continue the conversation.
Okay, so they're about an hour and 15 minutes into this podcast. So about at the hour point, they take a little break. And she states in this next clip that I'm going to show you that with everything that was going on, you know, she just wanted to sit in the green room by herself. She's been feeling a little uncomfortable. But then Joe comes back, asks her if she's okay. And then he asks, hey, can I give you a hug to just kind of console you? And she was like, yeah, you can give me a hug. So she gives him a hug. She then said that she comes back and Joe hits on her again once they get back on the show, saying, hey, I want to smash you again. I let her explain.
During that break, I leave the studio to go inside of the green room where Joe is sitting there alone. He asked me if I was okay, and I just immediately said yes, to not even try to further any sort of conversation or uncomfortableness. He then tells me he's gonna come back and sit with us and just give an on-air hug to lighten the mood. I say, okay. Fast forward to 2 hours, 16 minutes, and 3 seconds into the show. Joe returns and he mentions us and just giving us our accolades as we've been doing good thus far. This scene is edited once again because, let me rephrase that, let me go back. He goes down the line to give everyone their accolades. He starts with Mandy, he goes to Bridget, and then once he gets to me, the scene is edited again because he says, Olivia is unique because I want to fuck Olivia and the fans love her. That scene is edited out. Those words are edited out. But what's left there is me widening my eyes in shock and embarrassment because after he asked if I was okay and he said he would come back to lighten the mood, I didn't think he would once again reference to wanting to have sex with me.
Okay, so now we're 2 hours and like 15 minutes into this podcast, and more sexual harassment is going on. Now, Joe Budden asks, as she states that Joe Budden asks if he can give her an on-camera hug, you know, on the camera, not back in the green room, but so everyone can see that they're chill and they're cool. And not just that, but weirdly, she said that I guess all the co-hosts was like, do it, do it, do it. Like they were like egging and saying that she should. So because she felt pressured, you know, by all the co-hosts and everyone, she go on and give him a hug on camera. And I'm sorry for smirking and laughing, but it's what she says next about the hug. I'll play the clip.
At 2 hours, 17 minutes, and 5 seconds in the timestamp, Joe asked if he can give me an on-air hug. My co-host said yes, they insist, and I slowly get up to hug him. Still apprehensive, I give him a hug somewhat of a distance to kind of hug, no pelvis there. It's unbeknownst to me until I actually watch back the episode that he was moving his hips while he was hugging me. I laugh uncomfortably because I don't know what else to do at that point. It's nervous laughter at this point. Everyone else is like kind of chuckling and I sit back down.
Oh yeah, she said he was moving his hips. I can see Joe. Can I get an innocent hug? And then he hugged and then he's like, guys. I don't know. I'm just putting that in a picture. I don't mean to make fun of it, but for some reason, I see this image of Joe. But there's that. Okay, so let's just wrap this up. So after the air hug, lastly, she just talks about in this last clip that, hey, you know, I told everyone finally I had enough, and I told everyone that that this is uncomfortable. Then they did ask me if I wanted to keep the edits in. First they asked Joe, do you want us to keep the edits in where you were making passes at her? And he said, I don't care if she's okay with it. And then she says that she did say, because she felt pressured, that she was okay with it as well. I did look for the episode. They have taken the episode down, so I couldn't show you any clips and stuff of the episode. But yeah, let's play that.
At 2 hours, 17 minutes, and 38 seconds after I sit down after the on-air hug, I grab the microphone and I say, this is uncomfortable. That's pretty much the end of the episode that was recorded. After the recording, Joe was asked while he was still in the room with everyone if he wanted to delete the parts he made where he made passes at me. He said he didn't care. As long as I'm fine with it, then the entire room pretty much looks at me and said, I just say I'm fine with it too. Feeling pressured, I say I'm fine.
So that's the last part. So that's it. Them are the allegations. I like to know what you all think. Do you all believe her? Do you all believe Joe? Does it sound like Joe? Do you all think that this is heading to the cancellation of Joe? Should we start? Is there going to be a hashtag Joe Budden is over party? Or what do you all think is going to happen next? Do you think that she had a lawyer there? Is she lawyering up? I like to know a lot what you all think in the comment section, because obviously this is not going away, you know, and we possibly can see others. We know the trend. Others, I can say, we're going to have 2 or 3 more people coming out, you know, with allegations against Joe with regards to female and sexual harassment. You heard it here first. I'm just saying that that's kind of how things go. Rather it's because they felt emboldened or empowered, or people want to seize the moment, squeeze it, and freeze it and own it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Other than that, I thank you guys for watching. We've been on the grind. Y'all wanted me back. Y'all the ones that asked for me back. Y'all say Bob needs to start uploading and stuff, so I'm back. All right. I'll see you guys in the very next episode. If you're new, be sure to subscribe. As always, hey, KIP, keep it positive, people. It's gonna be all right. I'll see y'all.